Open world games on PC is for those who look at a forest and think about seeing what's in the middle. For the players who really do want to climb that mountain. Sure, the size of games these days means in some sense they all have an open world. These are the games where part of the destination really is the journey, and you can tell the devs wanted you to stop and look around every so often to see what you could find. So in this video, we are going to discuss the top 10 best open world games you must play before you die. But before starting the video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to never miss out on any of our videos. Number 10. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The Witcher 3 really spoiled us. One corner of this game's open world is bountiful and beautiful enough to justify being the setting for a separate game, just as most of this game's characters could easily be the heroes and villains of their own RPG. Even Gwent proved to be good enough to become its own game. Indeed, this game raised the bar for RPGs and open-world games in a way that often makes it hard to play other titles without finding your mind slowly drifting back towards this triumph. Maybe it's unrealistic to expect other games to deliver what this game did, but there's no way to scrub your memories of this game from your brain, just as there's no way to purge the way it made you feel out of your heart. Number 9. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was, pardon the pun, a breath of fresh air for the Zelda franchise. Audiences had complained about the ever-growing hand-holdy nature of the series, so Nintendo listened to those criticisms and developed a title that emphasized freedom and exploration. Players can go wherever they want, whenever they want, however they want. Not only is the world full of buried treasures and side quests, but it is also a physics playground that encourages players to find new ways to overcome obstacles and fight enemies. Half the fun of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is discovering what hides in the game's nooks and crannies. The other half comes from trying to get there alive. Number 8. Death Stranding. In regards to Death Stranding, we once asked the question, do games need to be fun to be good? That question really does tap into the heart of the entire Death Stranding experience. It's a game where nothing comes easy, and every task can feel like the start of a journey of 1,000 miles. That's also why Death Stranding is such a brilliant example of this genre. Its desolate and sometimes hopeless world happens to be the perfect setting for a game designed to teach you to appreciate the value of little victories and human connections. Number 7. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Skyrim has long established itself as a fantasy juggernaut, with a lifelong legacy that is unmatched. Playing as the Dragonborn traversing the rough yet beautiful world of Skyrim, you are faced with fulfilling a godlike destiny. From preventing a bloodthirsty vampire lord from blotting out the sun, to tackling the hardest quest in the land, the Dragonborn never rests. Having received numerous awards, including the PC Game of the Year award, Skyrim continues to be a fan favorite over a decade after its launch. With its in-depth lore and unparalleled storytelling, Skyrim is an open-world game that you'll never get tired of. Number 6. Grand Theft Auto V. Like the rest of the entries into this legendary franchise, Grand Theft Auto V is essentially a gigantic crime simulator. Gamers can explore every back alley of its incredible world and absorb all the details that went into creating this overblown and satirical universe that somehow feels more real than it probably should. While GTA V's return to a slightly more ridiculous form of gameplay, bolstered by a variety of side activities, was certainly welcome. The thing that really elevates this game above its predecessors is its use of 3 protagonists. The concept of 3 protagonists in a GTA game could have been a gimmick, but our heroes' personalities and goals play off each other in a way that creates a thrilling narrative that would have been impossible to achieve with only one lead. Many developers and publishers have tried to find their own GTA 5, but there are reasons why this game remains a bestseller nearly 9 years after its debut. Number 5. American Truck Simulator. For a game limited to major highways and byways in a cut-down version of a fraction of the USA, still building eastward with each expansion, American Truck Simulator feels vast and free. That is partially the romance that the American trucking holds for a European. The call of the open road, those flat lands with endless skies, and the Americana that drips from every vintage convertible and neon-lit gas station. But it is still huge and feels surprisingly open and free, even though you're mostly driving a set route to a time limit. One job you're hauling a load up Pacific Coast Highway on a glorious day. Next, you're winding through narrow, unknown roads at night with a wide load. Then you're blowing through mundane towns you've never heard of and wouldn't want to live in, but are glad to have briefly known. Number 4. Dragon's Dogma 2. The original Dragon's Dogma was a kind of cult hit, almost, and Dragon's Dogma 2 continues in its grand tradition of fantasy weirdness. What marks DD2 apart, otherwise being a fantasy world with dragons and ogres that you adventure in, is that journeys anywhere are fraught with danger. You have to genuinely plan ahead. Do you have enough money to get a cart somewhere? That'll be safer, but it might be quicker to go yourself. Still though, if the journey is going to take longer than a day, you'll end up traveling at night. And things get genuinely dark and wildly more dangerous at night. That's when the deadliest monsters come out. Still, even if you pay for a cart, you might get attacked by an ogre. But at least on the cart, you've got some guards to back up you and your crew. Number 3. Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines. The game offers you so many choices too, ways to succeed or fail miserably in the first half, which makes it one of the truest RPGs on PC. There are a myriad of ways to tackle any situation, whether that's finding some passcodes, sucking on some necks, or doing some sexy sweet talk. Couple these choices with superb writing, and you've got a world that genuinely feels alive, even if the character models look less alive. But why is Bloodlines on an open world list? Because of its setting in a grimy 2000s playground, small but dense, where you get to know the denizens that stay up late for all sorts of reasons. There are odd pockets and secrets to find in the 4 areas: Santa Monica, Hollywood, downtown Los Angeles, and Chinatown. Number 2. Elden Ring. Since its earliest days, the driving force behind the evolution of the open world genre has been go bigger. Not long after a major new open world game is announced, people rush to figure out how big its map is and how much there is to do in it. That kind of escalation is natural, but there are times when it feels like an open world designers have become so obsessed with going bigger that they've lost sight of where the whole thing started. As quantity has gradually morphed into quality in the minds of some, the process of exploring an open world too often feels like a chore best left to dedicated completionists. Elden Ring manages to combine the purity of foundational open-world games with the scope of more modern entries into that genre in a way that makes it surprisingly easy to call it the absolute best in its class. Number 1. Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon Zero Dawn was one of the first games to escape PlayStation exclusive containment and make it onto PC. Thus, we get a taste of the sequel too. Set 1,000 years in the future after rogue robots turned everything living on Earth into fuel, the Horizon series starts when things have been in a more stable state for a while. An advanced AI system has been producing robots that take the place of some of the missing animals to cultivate the planet, while humans have re-evolved into disparate tribal societies with their own cultures and customs. In Forbidden West, you head over to California, which means you get redwood forests and rocky desert, along with your lush jungles and snowy mountains. There are also new huge robot dinosaurs to hunt, including ones that are like giant brown bears or massive snapping turtles. Let us know your opinion in the comments section below. This was all for today. Hope you liked the video. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stay safe, and we will be back soon with another video.